Hello and welcome everyone on episode 6 on tips and strats, and tonight we're here to cover the map Black Sand. It's episode 6 already, so we're already quite far into the event. After this we'll have 4 maps left for you guys, if I can remember correctly. So tonight we'll start off with the map video and we'll do some giveaways later, but before I do that, I'll introduce my co-caster to you. You all know him from before. It's Robin.
Well, hello everybody, and good evening. And we're doing Black Scent, so get ready for some awesome, lots of nade spots, lots of EU and NRF strats for you to learn. And back to you, Myth.
And of course some giveaways. For tonight we'll have, as always, the full iron set for 7 days, and also a new special weapon, which is the TPG Bighorn for 15 days. We have 4 keys to distribute. We'll raffle one after each strat, so after EU strats we'll do one, and after the NRF strats we'll do one, and we'll do 2 more in the end. And we of course also have an in-game event, 5k euros for each. But yeah, first off is the map video, so I'll go play that for you right now and hope you enjoy. Just turn up the sound a little because it's quite low for me always on YouTube. Here we go. It's actually different music this time because rock music was not working out that well. And that was it already for the map video. It's quite a short map video, but there are not too many things to go over on Black Sand. So yeah, that's basically it. The spots in the map. It'll also go on, well, it is on YouTube already. It's still on private. I'll put it available for all of you guys later on tonight, so you can rewatch it if you want to. So yeah, that's the first thing that we're doing tonight, and we'll go on with the in-game first. The main things, mostly the nade spots, the importance of the map, just some basic things about Black Sand, and then Robin will go on with the EU strats. So let us go in-game and go ahead with it. Nice clan name, by the way, Robin.
Thank you very much. It was a very famous saying by a friend, so we decided to make a clan out of it.
Alright, so we're here. For Black Sand, it's really important to take the generator. Generator is probably the most important thing in this map. The person who controls it usually also controls the map, so make sure that if you're EU team and you're going to 2, you're gonna take this as fast as possible. So we'll start with some nade spots from here. There's a nade spot from up here which goes into the office. Jump on this crate, stand to this yellow label, and then aim all the way up here. Let me just zoom in for you. All the way up there. It's quite hard to see. And you need to jump as well. Fire in the hole! And this one should land directly. It is quite hard to do. Let me try once more. So I can actually get a visual for you guys. Let me zoom in once more. Uh, there.
As Myth repeats, is a very hard nade to do. So
Yeah.
practice first in practice channel, and then
Let's
actually
see if
do
it
the nade.
actually landed. It usually lands a little in the air, so it's quite hard to see where it actually explodes. So hopefully we have some marking up here. Well, it explodes somewhere in the air around here, so if there's a guy standing here, he'll get hit by the nade. You don't really have an indicator here, but then again, it's quite hard to throw. So yeah, we have one more actually, which is all the way in front of Chen. Usually have like the issue of the bridge. If you want to get rid of it, there's a nade spot for it. You stand in the corner here. You aim up there, and you just throw a nade. It's quite easy to do this one. Lands on top of the bridge and it'll destroy the bridge entirely or partially. So it will be a lot harder to cross, but more advanced players will still be able to cross. So for defense one, the guy that goes to office, you have a very important nade spot. Stand about here, aim a little higher, and then just throw the nade. It will catch off players that are rushing towards the vent. That one was not too visible for you guys. Let me throw one more. You can decide either to throw more to the left or somewhat more to the right, just what you prefer. That one wasn't actually good. You have to throw a little bit more to the left. Well, as you can see here, I land here perfectly fine. So if a guy is rushing into here, he'll get killed by that nade. There are more nade spots from office though, so let's move on to those. There's one that goes to the container. It's somewhat harder to do. Walk a little bit back. You aim up here if I remember correctly. It was without jumping. There we go. I think that should be fine, is it?
It went down through straight, so if you need to hit somebody that's around the dent through straight, then you can hit there. Getting around here is quite tricky to do, so.
Yeah, probably a little bit higher, but yeah, see the first one hit the wall, so I have to throw a little bit more to the left. And now we'll land all the way over there. But there's one more nade spot from the office. Where you stand in this corner, you can actually throw into the warehouse. It is a little bit tricky, but you can see the edge here and here. These edges. And you aim in the air here, and you just throw it. This one will land directly into the warehouse. It actually landed really good. Let's see how well that landed.
Right here.
There we go. So if there are guys waiting, yeah,
waiting to push up through the door, you'll be able to get them out really quickly.
So that's a really useful nade spot to know from office.
And there's another one from office as well. You can actually hit one side through it.
I almost forgot. Let's stand here. Actually here. In the middle of this thing, and I believe you don't need to jump. There we go. That lands directly on the side. So if you are in office and you hear someone setting, you can take him out with a nade. You can see it exploded around the cannon here. So it may have been a little bit too far. But since these nades explode in the air, you don't really have a visual on where it exactly lands. But that one was perfectly fine. So that's it for office. We'll move on to warehouse. There are a couple of important nade spots here as well. We'll first start with one that most people probably don't know. You stand in this corner here. I see somewhat of a smiley up here. You have an eye here, and a weird mouth there. If you aim in the middle of that and just throw it, you can actually throw a nade on the back stairs. So it'll land right there. And you most likely have a guy camping on these stairs, and he'll get killed by that nade. So it's really useful to know. Let's see. Yeah, the office nade. the all and famous one. Somewhere in the middle. Let's see, I don't need to jump. There we go. That goes into the warehouse. As you can see, it lands on the roof, quite high. But that means that if there's a guy waiting there, he'll get killed by the nade. A headshot nade, actually, so that's maybe even better.
If you're a point man, there is a spot here too that doesn't work with a rifle, which is around here. And you still have to aim at that corner, just a little out, and you don't have to jump. So it doesn't work well with rifles. But
yeah, as a pointman works better. Yeah, see, it's better to do as a pointman. As you know, rifles control a little further, so that's why there's a small difference. Let's go on with the last nade spots from here, and then we'll move on with some more general things and also the strats. And after that, the giveaways. People in the chat who are wondering about it, I'll explain it in a little bit. First of all, the one directly to the side. You aim in the left corner of the window and just throw the nade. Lands directly on site. You also have one from here. You stand here in the edge of this box. Actually, more in line with this. And you... let's see where it was. The bottom left corner, I believe. Top left corner. And that one lands all the way in the back where the scope is usually camping. And if you stand in the middle of these boxes and you aim on the icicle spear just above the light and throw it, you throw a nade on the front stairs. That one was actually quite far off. Oh wait, this one for the scope that's waiting at the barrels. There's another one to there.
Oh, that was in the corner.
Let's see. To stand here as well. Where is it? The bottom left corner, I believe that was about fine, but this land a little bit too far, so it's also quite a tricky nade. This place, now I should be able to throw it. So yeah, indeed, bottom left corner. I think this one's fine. No, that was another one. But usually lands about here. It's also quite a tricky nade spot, but from up there you can throw it. So that's it for nade spots. Am I missing any, Robin?
There is one you can hit. People are in vent.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
Around here. If they're coming out through the onto bridge, so Myth can show that real quick.
You stand up right here. You duck,
Yeah.
you aim at the top left corner, and you just throw a nade. It's quite easy to do, and this lands in the top generator. I believe this actually went in.
It did went in. It actually destroyed the rest of the bridge. Yep.
So this lands right here, so if there's a guy trying to peek you out there,
or
you'll
here
get
you
killed
can
by the
actually
nade.
get them to. They're in range of the nade.
It's a really good nade spot to use. It's probably the best for pub, since you have a lot of people swarming around in the gen. But it can also work in match channel.
There's another one you can actually hit into sight.
Oh yeah, indeed. You stand in this corner and you aim there. And just throw it. It is really easy to do once you know. And you just throw the nade directly onto two sides. So you have a lot of nades that directly land into the site. So that's it for nade spots. Rubbing will move on with the EU strats. And then we'll move on with the giveaways as well. As said before, we'll do a giveaway for the full iron set for 7 days. And also the TPG Bighorn for 15 days. We'll raffle 4 keys and we'll raffle that later on. The raffles are still closed, so try what you want, but it's not gonna help you anywhere. We'll do the first giveaway in about 10 to 15 minutes once rubbing's done with the strats for EU. Let's start.
Alright guys, so for EU strats, we're going to start off with 3 guys going and rushing all the way to warehouse. And once they make it about here, they can keep aware of the nades that can go into warehouse, although there aren't many. But you have quite a few you can use. The one Myth is showing now. You can use to go all the way in the back of site. You can also use one for front office. You can use this one too, which goes all the way to the back
There it actually
stairs.
was. This goes to the stairs. That's the one we forgot. You see the eye here and the line. You aim in the middle and you jump. Forgot.
There's also one by office where you can stand, which Myth also explained earlier. As soon as you throw the one for office, the person in office will have to is going to be running back. So what you have to do is you open the door and run and pre-fire that office as soon as you can. Whoops, did not throw a nade. So and pre-fire that office as soon as you make your way up to one site. Now you do this, but in the meantime, you're going to have your other players, your scope, and your preferably point man. Instead of going left to 1, you're going to have them go to 2 or to pink room, which was shown in the map video. You're going to have them make their way in through here. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to have your point man or your point man or your scope is going to smoke the barrels. So anybody watching barrels will get smoked out. Also, you're going to smoke straight, and then both your point man and your scope can push up. If need be, since this place is scoped, you can come over here to this side and open up this warehouse in case you want to, anybody needs to come out real quick if warehouse is taken. As soon as you do this, you're going to have your point man, once office is taken out, and you know office is taken out, the point man will make his way around up to that side. He can also go up here through base, not recommended though, because there are usually people camping at base. You're gonna have your scope.
Reload.
He's in his place. Once you know that office is taken, because that place is a really common place for enemies to stand, he's gonna slowly make his way up all the way to areas where the generator switches, and he can watch from base. This is a good way in case anybody decides they want to come through base. Scope can take them out really easily. There's also a cool little place a scope can stand if you only have like 2 players left.
We actually found this out today.
This was an accidental location.
It may be better to show with a scope. Let me just respawn. There we go, TPG Bighorn.
Which is actually a giveaway, as Myth said earlier. However, little thing about this is people like to come through base or when they're rotating from 2, because that's like the closest area to get to 1, or the fastest way to get to 1. So they usually come out from the front of 2, and they're usually making their way to base. Now, where Myth is standing, if you stand at the very edge, the very edge, you can actually be able to see almost anybody coming up through base up to 1. But that means you have to stand on the very, very, very edge. So it's a good peek spot if you know people are coming up from there. You can have your last person, if there is a last person, he can stand by stairs, although not recommended because anybody pushing up can easily take him out easily. You can stand behind here, scope can stand by here watching straight. So there are a lot of places. You can stand a little glitched here. It looks like Myth is floating there for a sec, but you can also watch base through there if you need to, or up top of where office stairs are, which is a good place to be. Yeah, just stand around there. Make sure you let your teammates know if you see any enemies, so that way they'll be able to anticipate any movements that they may happen. Alright, so that's that. Let's go on to 2. Welcome back.
Yeah, respawning is somewhat easier.
Yes, it is. All right, so you're gonna have three guys. They are going to push. You're gonna have definitely two rifle and 1 point man. They are going to push Gen as fast as they can and take anybody who's out here. The general spot is around here. 6.2 seconds, which is around here. By then, you're gonna have two people around here. So you want to take them out. So they'll be around this gen by the time you make it around this area here. So you really wanna have that point man that has that extra speed and momentum to take out anybody that's over here, including rifles, because rifles will generally be there. You can have another rifle stand on top of this thing here. He can look over anybody who's coming through the back generators back here. It's kind of hard for rifles to actually get anybody over there, so you have another scope, you can use that to your advantage as well. Now you're gonna have a rifleman who's gonna stand around this area. Gonna watch mid, freezer, / whatever you want to call it, office room. So in case anybody's coming through stairs, or in case anybody's coming through mid all the way from freezers, they'll be able to get taken down. So
Changing magazines.
So the stairs, one place, he can watch through this little hallway connector. Or he can stand around here to watch if anybody decides to come up through this area. So once he's camping around there, you're going to have your final person, which is your scope. He's going to come all the way to pink room. And he's going to do almost the same tactic, but he's gonna watch out for nades because usually there is a spot here that gets naded a lot when people come up through straight. He's gonna watch straight, make sure anybody there is coming down from straight he can take out real quickly. You might want to stay there for a while because anybody rotating from 1 to 2 he can take out easily with the scope. So after that, you're gonna have some call outs. Make sure that you let people know, hey, this generator is clear. There are 2 spots where people generally camp when you are on the EU side. First place.
Before we push on, there are a few wallbang spots here. So, as I just showed with the scope, you can shoot through this wall. You'll land in the other side. You can wallbang through here. And you can also wallbang from here through this wall. So if there's a guy standing there, you can actually get him. Let's just walk there so I can show that it actually does wallbang. There we go. Bullets through the wall. So if there's a guy waiting here, you'll get wallbanged. You can go on now, Robin.
Okay, actually I'm curious, did it went all the way through here too? No, it didn't. Alright, moving on. You want to have people taking low and high sides of the EU side. So generally people camp around that area to watch the high sides. So if you need to, you can throw a nade. Listen for anybody saying enemy grenade or whatever is going on out there. You can also throw a nade if we're misshowing in case you see anybody coming in from 2.
That also works as scope.
Also works as, yep. And you're gonna have 2 people. Once you take out from backside of 2, you're gonna be able to camp around here. Don't push yet until you get a few people ready. You're gonna have one person, he's gonna stand and vent. You're gonna have your next person, he's gonna stand behind 2. Your last person is gonna stand in front of 1. So you three can all take 2 together. Person will then set. You're gonna have your scope. He's gonna watch backstairs. There's another place here where a person can watch steps, which is it's pretty hard to actually get any sort of kills from that area, especially if you're a rifle with the heavy duty rifle such as a Para or AK-12, unless you're really good at aiming one-shots. If you have a spray cannon like Type 89, then it'll actually be a little tougher with that area. You're gonna have your rifle. You remember you don't want to forget your rifle and your scope, who are all the way back here. Your rifleman, who's already here or probably behind stairs, he's gonna go ahead and he's gonna move up all the way to around where generator is and stay around where the switches are. He can stay through vent if he needs to, but most likely if there are problems going on and the site gets taken and somebody's defusing and it's the last few seconds, the rifle can take a few quick nade spot there again. He can pretty much kill anybody that's defusing the bomb as a last minute priority or last minute thing. The scope is still going to stay where he is, and in case if this area is covered really well, he's going to stay where he is, watch straight, and see if anybody is rotating from 1 to 2. If the case where the scope there are less people into, he's going to be able to go all the way behind, and he'll be able to watch 2s as well. So, and that's EU strats. You got anything to add, Myth?
And there's actually one more defending spot from office if you're playing as a scope. It is quite a pixel shot. You stand here, you aim in between here, it's quite hard to see, and you can aim all the way up to the bridge. Hard to make shots like this, but it is possible. And of course, the office door is also wall bangable. So I think that's about it.
Alright, Myth, you can cover your NRF strats now.
Alright, but before we do that, we'll start with the first giveaway of tonight. I think you're all waiting for it already, so we'll start with that, and I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So we'll go out of the game now, and we'll start with the giveaway. I still have to open it, so it's no use in spamming yet. I'll notify you once it's open. If you have questions for us in the meantime, you can always ask us. We have time to answer them right now. There we go. Alright, so as for the giveaways, I'll open them right now. Alright, giveaways are opened. Type !raffle to join the raffle. You have 5 minutes to do this. After 5 minutes, I'll draw a person, and if that person's also following the channel, he'll win the first giveaway of the night. We have 4 in total, and yeah, we'll see who wins. So I'll put up some music for the guys, for you all here, and good luck in the raffle. Let's see, just need to move the music bot here.
User was moved to your channel.
If you have questions about what the song is I'm playing, you can also ask it. I'll reply with the song name for you guys.
Let's play.
one more minute and I'll draw the first winner for tonight. So last minute chance to type !raffle to join the raffle. Also make sure you're following the channel so you're eligible to win the reward. And we'll send you the key via Twitch PM. Good luck, 1 minute left. Half a minute left. Alright, time's up. We'll draw the first winner for the night. We'll have 3 more winners after this, so don't worry about that. In the meantime, also make sure you're voting for the map of next week. You probably saw something appear in that for the chat a while ago. You have about an hour more to vote for the map. And yeah, we'll see which map we'll cover next week. But first, the moment you're waiting for the first raffle. I'll draw a person, I'll PM the name to Robin, and he will announce it on the chat, and then I'll let Moobot also announce it. The first person who won the raffle is unfortunately not following the channel, so that means I have to draw another person, so let's do that right now. And for the other people, make sure you're following the channel, otherwise you won't be able to win. Next person's also not following the channel, so let's do another one. Third person is also not following the channel. It's going quite nice.
Oh my.
Let's try another one then. There we go. He's following the channel. Although this name sounds quite familiar to me. I think this person's won before. I'm actually pretty sure about it. Let me just type you the name before we announce it.
Ah, this person has won before.
Yeah, I thought so.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So the winner for this, the winner of this giveaway.
Would that be fair to do?
He's part of how many other people? So I mean, it was 62 people who were probably watching this, and probably, and you know, it's a fair.
It was fair draw indeed. All right, then we'll announce it.
All right then. So the winner is Phoenix Mustafa TR.
So yeah, as we said, it's the second time you already won a raffle, so you must be really, really lucky. There you go. I'll send you a private message on Twitch, but I think you already know how it works. I'll send you the message right away so you'll be able to redeem your code. We'll have another raffle in about 15 minutes. And then we'll see who the second winner is of tonight. So let me just get everything in front of me. There we go. Last link to send. Alright, the code has been sent to you, so have fun with it. And we'll move on with the second strats of the night, which will be the NRF strats. Let's see, Resido is saying, I think for those who aren't following the Twitch channel should be getting called out, to be honest, just in case it isn't a bug with Twitch. I also have the option to check it myself, but Moobot works quite neat with that. And it's a bit of a bummer to let people know they won, but weren't following the channel, so did not win the raffle. So that's a little mean. I want to avoid that, so I'm not gonna do that, unfortunately. We'll move on with the NRF strats now. I'll go over them, and after that we'll do another giveaway as just mentioned before. So here we go.
Feel like we should have joined the NRF side.
Indeed, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just walk around. Let's just walk there. Wasn't the best thing to do, but doesn't really matter too much. Alright, so first of all, the NRS strat for 1. If you want to defend 1, it's always important to have 2 guys camp at 2, 1 on each side. So 1 guy camps about here, like a scope can camp here quite well, and the other one stands all the way up there, preferably a rifle. Then you have another rifle who is camping in office and who does the nade, as also shown before. I'll just stay around here. Keep in mind that you can get naded here, you can get pre-fired out here, and you can get naded from out here. So it's safest to stand here if you want to defend the office, but you may want to check this as well, but don't stay there too long. So for the people on 1, the most important thing about this strat, they run together as fast as they can to 1, they open the office door, the warehouse door, and 1 rifle waits here for his cue. So if you can stand here for a bit, just wait there, don't let your gun stick out, and the other rifle will be camping about here. So if this rifle starts shooting and calling out, the other rifle, which is Robin, can then peek out and take out the rifle from 2 sides. So I'll have no shot, and you'll be able to hold that warehouse quite nicely.
Reload!
But indeed, if the one side does get taken and you have to retake it, the guys at warehouse have died. Now here, you may want to do some nade spots. This one lands more on the spot itself, so it's useful to do. But you mainly have guys coming from the straight. Make sure you stay to the right side, pre-fire this spot. Don't move up too far because there's always a guy camping here. Keep that in mind. It is preferred to smoke the straight if you can, so that this guy won't be able to see you. You can shoot him a little bit, move on, and then hug this wall. Move up like this. And then slowly walk here and surprise the guy who may be camping here. Take him out and defuse the bomb. That's it for strat 1 on 1 for NRF. Anything to add, Robin?
No, you pretty much got it for now.
That reminds me of a nade spot that we did not do yet. Let's see. You stand here. You see the top of the satellite. You see this line. You make sure they cross. And you just throw a nade. You jump and throw a nade. I need to throw it at the right time. There we go. And this one lands in freezer, as you can see. It's a useful nade spot to do for if you're falling back in one. And yeah, and you know that there's a guy in freezer. You can just take him out with this nade spot. Alright, then we'll move on for the 2 strat. For the 2 strat, that means you have 1 guy who controls the one side. You most likely will find him somewhere around the back stairs. Keep in mind you can get naded here, so it's recommended to stand a little bit up here, or to stand more to this place, or of course wait behind the door, although this is a bit risky. You have the other guy camping in the office, just same as we showed before, also doing the same nade spot to catch any people going to the gen. And for the remaining 3 guys, they will push the gen as fast as they can. You most likely want the scope with you. The first thing you do is flash. 1 guy flashes. You throw that all the way to the back. So if there's a scope camp in there, we'll get flashed out. You can pre-fire him out. and take control of the site. You don't want to go up too far because there may be scopes camping on the stairs there. So make sure you wait around here and then move up and take control of the site. And once you have taken control of it, the people are falling back. You leave one guy here and the others then rotate to one. So you have full control of that. Well, you already control the gen, so you can then go up and control the one side so that nobody will be able to do anything else. As for retaking too, as Robin already showed, there are a lot of camping spots here. If you go in through front, you may already find someone camping here. The first spot you want to peek is here. The second one is there. Then you have one there, there, all the way back in there. You have people standing there, or here in this corner, in that corner, or on the spot itself. You can all name it up. There are so many spots where people can camp out here. It is insane. So it is real hard to take it if people are defending it properly. The easiest thing, of course, to do is to throw in a flash nade and then push in since the guys are blind for 3 seconds only. So keep that in mind. The flash nade free that's recently came with the update flashes your enemy for about 3 seconds. Keep that in mind and push carefully. Yeah.
Also, another thing with the flash nade is if you are within a 2-meter range, the flash only lasts for about 1 second. If you're 3 to 7 meters in range, your flash will be around 3 seconds.
Alright, good to add. For the guys going through the back, you may want to actually go outside because you sometimes have a guy camping around here. Make sure that the bridge is always destroyed, as we showed with some nade spots earlier. You can destroy it fairly easy. So if you want to retake and then you have some nades left, it's useful to do this one right here, as we showed before. Fire in the hole! This way you'll destroy the bridge a little, almost completely, and also take anyone down who may be camping there. They can go to the back and try to take it. Make sure you always pre-fire. You also have guys like sitting there, and mainly there. And then it's of course on the spot itself. Make sure that if you are with 2 people, you push together so the guys inside will have to watch 2 sides and make it a little bit harder. Otherwise, it will be really hard. So that should be about it for the Anora strats. Anything to add, Robin?
There is something that, again, there's a lot of nade spots to office. So if you are the one going to office, the scope going to office, you have to do a lot of dancing around here. Because, as Miss showed, you can go, that gets wall bang. This is a perfect nade spot to get naded at. The window over here is a good spot to get naded at. There's only one really good safe spot, but you can't really watch straight from there. So because your main intention is to watch straight, so just be aware of that. Again, as a scope, you'll be dancing a lot. You'll probably be doing the samba, so just watch out. Pretty much it though.
For the guy who is really happy in the chat now, Mubot randomly comes up with a message if he adds 1 or more users to the raffle. It doesn't always pop up, so yeah, if you type it once, that should be enough. But to be certain, you can always say it some more times. We'll open the raffle any minute and we'll go on with the raffling in a little bit. Was that it?
No, that's it.
Alright, now we'll move out and we'll start with the second raffle of tonight. As said before, you type the keyword !raffle to join the raffle. Tonight we're raffling the full iron set for 7 days and the TPG Bighorn for 15 days, which I'll also show you in-game later on during the in-game event, in which every player participating will get 5k in-game euros, similar to a GES event. I'll open the raffle now. Raffle's already opened. Type the keywords. Within 5 minutes, we will announce it for you. Let's see. We still have a question from Wanky. Who is covering warehouse with 2 players? Well, that's a 1-base strat. It's of course not something you should do always, but it actually works out really well. You're covering each other out, and that means you'll be able to get some guys down who are going to warehouse. It's not recommended to do all the time, because if the enemy knows once They won't go to office anymore. They know that there are two guys, or they won't go to warehouse anymore. They know there are two guys in warehouse and just fully push two with all five, and then you lose rounds. So it is recommended to do like once or twice if the enemy doesn't know yet, but otherwise use this strat with caution. So we'll go on with the raffle now. 4 more minutes remaining. I'll put up the music and we'll announce the